I'm Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy with your motivational minute. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a business-owning plutocrat capitalist for a moment. So you own a company, you lead a big company, and your company is dependent on low-wage workers, people who are barely scraping by, working long hours, and you need a lot of them, and in order to make the profits you want, you need to not pay them enough. Well, ultimately, those people are going to get kind of fed up, and they're going to do something about it. Now, here's the crazy thing. In the modern economy, with the internet, with all the opportunities, almost nobody, a few people maybe don't have the skills, but most people can go out and make $300 a week using the skills they have in a number of different ways. I've talked about that elsewhere. So most people could do that. So what would happen to Walmart, to Amazon, to those companies if everybody figured this out and started running their own side business and making more money doing that than they were doing there, quit their jobs, and their own thing? Well, that would be a big problem for Walmart. That would be a big problem for Amazon. It would be a big problem for all these companies whose business model is based on exploiting low-wage workers. So, it is in their interest that you not know how to make your own money. But given, left to your own devices, you'll eventually figure it out, right? You need to make money. You got to do something. You can't get a better job. You'll figure that out unless your attention is driven somewhere else. So when you start talking about, I'm going to change the system, I'm going to revolution, burn it all down, or fight for 15, or all those things are great. And people should certainly work on them. At the political level is certainly an important thing. We do need structural change in this country. The problem is, if all of your energy is going to structural political change, think about Fight for 15. We finally got that in some states. And now 15's nothing. You can't live on $15 an hour in Connecticut. You can't live on $15 an hour in Northern California. So just because you got it, great, you hit that milestone. Well, inflation marched past you, and you just expended a whole lot of energy on that. And if you're talking about something bigger, trying to get someone like Bernie Sanders elected, you're trying to do major structural reform, that could take years or decades and so much organization and so much energy and so much push, and then will you even be anywhere ahead? Or will they just move the goalposts again when you get there? By putting all your energy into political causes instead of into your own development, you are basically throwing a Hail Mary on the social level. You're saying, I'm going to put everything into this, all my eggs into this basket, and hope it works. But what if you did something different? What if instead, still support those causes, still vote for those candidates that are going to change things, but put your primary effort into building your own opportunities, into finding ways that you can make money, whether it's setting money aside. Maybe you don't have money to set aside. I'll accept that. But finding that side hustle, figuring out what you can do, whether it's being a virtual assistant or designing websites or copywriting or any number of things. Uber driving. I did that before the pandemic. I drove Uber as a great opportunity. I had fun with it. So if you don't have fun with Uber, don't do it. It's miserable if you hate it. But I got to meet people, drive around, listen to music, listen to podcasts. I thought it was fantastic. I had so much fun doing that. And it's a great way to get that money to then invest in the next thing. But maybe Uber's not for you. That's fine. There's a dozen other ways you can make money. If you took half the energy you're putting into trying to get political change, took half of that, and put it into building your own opportunities. Now let's extrapolate that. Let's imagine everyone did that. Everyone making $8, $10, $12, $15 an hour working for Amazon or Walmart or whatever did that and put a bit of their energy into finding ways they could do a bit more hustling. An artist who sells a piece for $100 twice a month. That's $200. Well, if your monthly income is $1,500 and you just made another $200, that's kind of a big deal. And if you could make $200 in your spare time, could you make $1,500 if you did it full time? Maybe. So if you can replace your income and exit yourself from the wage slave economy, that's one less bit of supply, which pushes up prices, pushes up wages. One of my missions is to teach everyone what I'm saying, and I'm going to keep hammering on this point because people can't accept it because they have been taught by the media, the culture, that you've got to get a job. Job's the only way to support yourself. Jobs are stable and reliable. They're not. They're not. Walmart wants you to believe that. Amazon wants you to believe that because that's what their business model is based on. But they're the one pushing that narrative, not me. So I want to encourage people to find their own opportunities. Some of them will be able to support themselves. Some will just have more leverage. If you're making $800 a month in your side hustle and $1,600 a month in your main job, and they tell you they're going to change some policy, give you a pay cut, whatever, you can tell them to go shove it, because you can dial up your side hustle to cover what you need to cover. You've got that leverage because you know you're making money. You know what you can do. So I want to encourage you, if you have been focused 100% on changing the world, to take some of that energy and change your world first. Yes, change the world. It's going to take 5, 10, 20, 50 years. You can change your world in 5, 10, 20, 50 days. So take some of that energy, focus that in. And if you don't know how to get started, that's what I'm here for. I have a number of free programs that provide some information. I have a very inexpensive course I'm going to be putting out, and I do offer a free half-hour coaching session, as well as my paid coaching. But I understand if you don't have the money right now, you can't hire me as a coach. So the first thing I want to do is to help guide you to make your first $1,000. That lets you hire me as a coach, or hire another coach. Maybe you don't like me, you like someone else. Hire someone, find the resources. That gets you to your 10,000, that gets you to more and more. And that structurally changes the labor market in a permanent way, in a way that getting the minimum wage up to $15 never can. So take some of that energy. Keep working on changing the world. Keep doing that. Awesome. Love it. But change your world a bit too, because you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of the rest of the world. I'm Michael Whitehouse. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've gotten something out of this. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Do you think everyone should hear about this? If you think everyone should hear, share this video, please. And subscribe to my email list, guywhoknowsaguy.com/subscribe. And also join our new Facebook group, Confident, Connected, and Influential, at facebook.com/groups/confidentconnected. Thank you for watching, and go out there and change your world.